Hi, it's Tim and Shana from Beastanetics. Shana's got on her Live Free or Die St. Patrick's Day t-shirt.
New Hampshire.
And it is from New Hampshire. State motto. Anyway, we're here to talk to you about the basic plank. One of the most fundamental core exercises. And super effective, and you got some options. So Shana's starting from her palms and her toes, and you'll see that nice straight line from her shoulders to her heels. It's not exactly straight, of course, there's a little bit of a break. Her torso is parallel to the floor, and then the legs angle down slightly. But what we want to avoid is that low back collapsing, right? That excessive arch would suggest that the person doing the plank doesn't have sufficient core strength. We also don't want that butt sticking way up in the air like a down dog. Nothing wrong with a down dog, but it's not a plank. So there you go. There's your good alignment, neck with spine. So we wouldn't drop the head, nor would we look up. That would probably lead to some fatigue pretty quickly. The wrists, elbows, shoulders are stacked. Breathing is relaxed. Now, from this position, if Shana's wrists were bothering her, or if your wrists are bothering you, you have some possibilities. So let's discuss those. One would be to come to your forearms. That avoids that wrist flexion. Now we've got elbows and shoulders stacked. Palms are down, and if Shana spreads her fingers, she has a little bit more surface area to grip the floor with. And everything else is the same. You have that relatively straight line from shoulders to heels. Now the stance varies. Right here, Shana's feet are about hip width apart. Typically that's a good place to be. If she were to narrow her stance, that will increase the balance challenge. And if she broadens her stance, that typically increases stability, but it does vary from person to person. Now, if that position wasn't comfortable, or if Shana felt like she's fatiguing very quickly, she could go to an incline, and I think she's going to scoot across and grab a bench. This bench is about 18 inches high, so the typical height of the seat of a chair. And now, if she goes back into her plank, same alignment as far as shoulders and heels. Wrists are still stacked, actually not quite to the same extent as they were before, but this is going to be a less challenging position because the forces of gravity are not putting Shana in a place where she has to work as hard. And of course, the more she's at an incline, the less the challenge. So if it was a higher bench or a bed or sofa, etc., that would decrease the challenge. So that's one possibility. Another possibility would be yoga blocks, more in terms of wrists and allowing Shana to keep them in neutral or closer to neutral. So the yoga blocks are horizontal now, which means Shana's hands are elevated about 6 inches or so. And now you see a fairly straight line from her shoulder to her fingertips. And that's a more advantageous position for the wrist for anyone that has carpal tunnel or other issues. Now plank holds can vary. I think the world record is now 8 hours or so. We're not going to encourage you to do that. But you probably want to work yourself up to a minute and then see where it goes from there. You can do multiple sets. That's the basic plank, so fundamental. And in future videos, we're going to cover all kinds of variations that'll work off of this. But this is where you want to be to start. Okay, guys, so thanks for joining us. If you like what you saw, feel free to give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe. And if you have questions, jot them down in the comments section below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, we'll see you next time.